channel, Ginja Ninja's movie reviews. In this series we're doing the classic slashers and we're looking at some of the original classic slasher films. In this episode we're actually going to be looking at Friday the 13th, the final chapter. This is my DVD copy here, it comes in the box set. There's no special features on this DVD really, but you know, it's Friday the 13th, so I'm happy with it. Now, like I said, this comes from 1984, so a few years old. It does star Kimberly Beck, Corey Feldman, Crispin Glover, and Ted White as Jason Voorhees, plus many more. I will be discussing plot specifics, so there will be spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen it, you've been warned. Now, after being pronounced dead and taken to the local morgue, Jason Voorhees revives and begins his killing rampage again. This is one of my favourites in the Friday the 13th series. And this one takes place directly after the events of the previous film, so it continues straight on. In fact, the part 2, part 3 and part 4 pretty much take place within a few days of each other. So it does, you could watch it 2, 3 and 4 as one movie, essentially. Yeah, so taking place straight after the events of the previous film, but with a new group of teens and introducing the Jarvis family, and in particular Tommy Jarvis, who does play an integral part to the next 2 films, 5 A New Beginning and 6 Jason Lives, which, on a side note, is my personal favourite of all time. So yeah, but that actually brings up an interesting point. With this one, Jason is dead at the start of the film. So is this where he becomes a zombie, or, you know, who knows? I guess there's a lot of theories about Jason Voorhees, what he is, who, you know, and all that. But I think this one does bring up an interesting little thing, like, why is he reviving? Like, you know, at least in part 6, he's struck by lightning and revived as an undead creature. But anyway, that's totally separate topic. Let's look at this one. Now, one of the big differences with the cast of characters in this film is I feel all of them are really decent people. Like, they're good friends. They're not a bunch of, you know, dicks or anything like that. There's some good witty banter between them, you know, fun, yeah, sort of, you know, having a bit of fun with each other, you know, nothing too serious. And the Jarvis family is a very close-knit family, obviously going through some, you know, the mother's going through some marital difficulties and whatnot, but they're a good family. You know, so it's a good start to the movie. Now, what I liked about this film overall is the cast. The cast is fantastic. They really do play all their parts well, without a doubt. There's none, well, apart from one scene, but I'll get into that in a minute. And look, even with all the behind the scenes friction between cast members, directors and whatnot, you know, everything going on during the filming as well in certain scenes, they pulled it off really well, and the film just comes together really good. You know, it just shows what professionals they were. Now, Tom Savini special effects. So Tom Savini agreed to come on board with this one to kill off his creation, Jason Voorhees. And he does a really good job with all the special effects in this film. The kill scenes are really good, like the effects that he used, the blood, everything. Crispin Glover, his death scene, gets a corkscrew through the hand and a meat cleaver to the face, which looks astounding. The shower head crush scene with Jason Voorhees crushing someone's head against a shower wall, another great scene. The machete scenes at the end, Jason gets his hand cut in half and that looks really gruesome. It's like cut down there. And then I guess where he dies again, through the eye, and as his head slides down, wow, really good scenes. And I've said it before, but practical effects, mind-blowing through. You know, if you've got a choice between practical or CGI, practical effects hands down wins all the time. Plus, with this one, what I found was, as the movie progressed, you see a bit of Jason here, you see a bit of Jason there. You know, it's not until I didn't feel until the final act, unless I missed a few scenes, but they were quite quick glimpses of him. You don't see him fully. And when you do see Jason fully, Ted White plays a very imposing, menacing Jason. Like, he is big. He is, like, he moves with purpose. Like, as a stuntman, you see him go through windows, you see him bash down doors, like, doesn't stop, I'm just walking through, bang, done. Now, some of the cons of this film, what I didn't like, and this gets brought up quite a bit, especially with this one, is Rob's death. He's killing me, run, he's killing. It's amusing as well as being serious. Like, he is trying to do the right thing, but it just comes off comedic almost. Very similar to the Troll 2 scene, you know what I'm talking about. So I kind of felt, sort of on another side note here, I tend to go off on tangents as well. Rob kind of felt like a prototype for Clay in the Friday the 13th remake, where their characters are both searching Camp Crystal Lake and the surrounding areas for their missing sister. So I kind of felt like the remake took that from Rob as well. But look, overall, this is still one of my favourites. So even though Rob's death is, it's a fun movie. It's got a good cast of characters, fantastic special effects, and great kill scenes. Like I said, the whole thing just comes together quite well. So overall, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, gets 8 out of 10 for me. So there you have it. Thank you for sticking around for my review of this movie. I will be back next week with another classic slasher film, so stick around. Make sure you do hit that like button, share this, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.